thanks to the supporters of channel member Freddie Finlow. Champions League quarter-final day. What a time to be alive. Playing Paris Saint-Germain. I suspect the journey ends here. Hello and welcome to Club 4, part 22 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of the Champions League quarter-final where we drew Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, it's not as if there was an easy draw, really. I guess in an ideal world, maybe we got Benfica, but I mean, look at the state of that quarter-final. The Champions League journey almost certainly ends here. Luckily, league form has continued to be good, so we've got a good chance of getting back in again next year. We've enjoyed it. We want to be able to play next year too. This is what the Premier League table looks like. 6 games to go for us, and we are still in the top 4, 3 points behind Arsenal. The worry we've got is West Ham have got a game in hand, a better goal difference, and they're only 1 point behind, and we don't play them. So why are they showing us latest scores? So those games kicked off at 7:30. We kick off at 7:45. I've never seen that before in Football Manager. So West Ham and Wolves are playing each other right now. Hopefully Wolves win, because then we stay above West Ham. A draw or a win, and we will probably get the double blow of a pasting by Paris Saint-Germain at the same time as we fall out of the top 4, which would be very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. This is a team that we're putting out there for the game against PSG. We're at home in the first leg, and believe it or not, away in the second leg. It's currently still only Leipzig who want Pedro Luis. None of the rest of our first teamers are wanted by anyone, so that's a positive, I guess. Although obviously we lose Michele and Ansa this summer as their loans end, and unless we can get back into the Champions League, we've got no chance of signing either of them. Even if we do, I think it potentially will be a struggle. I'm more keen on Michele than Ansa. We've got other defensive midfielders in the squad. We've got Zamorano, we've got Haruna, we've got Pedron. There's plenty of players who can slot into that role. Michele is kind of irreplaceable at the moment. When he's not available, Tipple's having to play at left back, and that is a long way from ideal. So the team for the PSG game: Hoy and Hal in goal. A back four of Michele, Caesar, Noll and Romero. Ansa at the base of the midfield. Your new second Tipple ahead of him. Gilberto Carlos then in behind Tammy Abraham and Pedro Luis. It is our first choice 11. This is our best team. It has been our starting 11 pretty much all season long. When everybody's available, this is the team that we play. I suspect it won't be good enough to get past Paris Saint-Germain, who, I mean, it's not quite Manchester City levels of who's who of who to sign in FM22, but, you know, Donnarumma, Hakimi, De Ligt, Pedri, Chiesa, Felix, Martinez. Quite good, isn't it? It is quite good. I wonder, I mean, I haven't checked the ages. My one thing might be, I wonder if they're maybe getting on a little bit. I don't know how old that selection of players will be 10 years in the future. I don't think they're all teenagers. Like someone like De Ligt, he's like 23, 24 in real life, isn't he? So he must be Tammy Abraham, maybe a little younger than Tammy Abraham. Same with the likes of Chiesa and Lautaro Martinez. These guys must be, and Hakimi. These guys are well in their 30s now, surely. Obviously, some of them are a little bit younger, the likes of Pedri, very much still a teenager in real life. But I don't know, maybe we can outrun them. I think that's probably being a little bit ambitious, but who knows? Let's just not embarrass ourselves. First half, Paris Saint-Germain haven't really had a sniff. So that's a positive thing for sure. If this ends 0-0, I'd probably take it. I mean, you always want to win your home games in the Champions League, but ultimately it's the quarterfinal. We're Norwich. They're Paris Saint-Germain. As long as we don't get absolutely humiliated, I'm comfortable with getting knocked out here. I'm not expecting to go and win this tournament this season. We're not close to ready for that. If we were to win it this year, it would be the flukiest of all flukes. Right, it is the first proper highlight of the game. 56 minutes gone. It is PSG on the attack, and it's an easy as you like goal. Ultimately, from a set piece, it did get cleared, played back in again. Easy cross, easy tap in. You've got to hope that you concede maybe a better goal than that when you do go behind, because it just smacks of disorganisation from us, really. And I'm not sure where Romero is. Chiesa's completely unmarked. I was going to call him Chow again. I haven't done that for a while. Kaio, Caesar was playing everybody onside, and I think Romero was with the other three trying to play an offside trap, and they just let Chiesa get in behind him. It was sloppy, really. I know we've got Caesar on a covering instruction, but you still need your back four to be in a line in situations like that, or you get players in bags of space completely unmarked, like we've just seen. Sloppy, but it is a very young defence. I mean, all apart from Noel are under 21 in that defence. So there's going to be sloppiness. There's going to be mistakes every now and again. And even Noel is probably only 27, I think. He is a little bit older, but he's not an old man like Delict. Right. Just keep it tight, boys. Keep it tight. Alvarez can come on for Tammy. That's an easy change to make. What is less easy is we don't really have an attacking midfielder to come on. So I think we'll bring Diaz on in midfield. What else have we got on the bench? Seeker for Romero is probably the other obvious one because Romero's tiring. I know it's not the law that we make a triple substitution with 20 minutes to go, but goodness me, is it a fun little routine for us to have? And in a game like this, I don't mind doing it. Just get a little bit more energy on the pitch, give them long enough to make an impact. Cross comes in. That looked like an opportunity for an impact. Michele's going to have another go at it here. In fact, he squares it to answer. And now Caesar, Michele again. If we can get someone into a crossing position, we always have a chance. Gilberto Carlos entirely unmarked. It falls to Pedro Luis, and that is some very, very good defending from, I think that was Araujo or Bastoni. It was Bastoni, actually, the number 5 who got across and made the cover there. But I mean, that was an opportunity. That was a better chance. It wasn't a better chance than the one Chiesa had. It was an absolute tap-in. It was the best chance we've had all game long. But ultimately, we just don't have the oomph to get past the Paris Saint-Germain team, as you would expect. I mean, I know we struggled a little bit in the first leg against Dortmund and then went and absolutely battered them at their place, possibly because of a little bit of complacency on their end, but don't expect a repeat of that in the second half of this episode. I think, like I said at the start, I think the Champions League journey this year ends here. The big question is, how did West Ham get on? And it looks like they won. See, this is problematic. 6 games to go with 2 points outside of the Champions League positions. It's never going to be a disaster for us to finish 5th and qualify for the Europa League. I keep saying it because it remains true. We are Norwich. The plan isn't to win the Premier League and the Champions League with this Norwich team. The plan is to continue to overachieve until a really big club notices me and swoops me off my feet and takes me to pastures new. So that's fine. It will just sting a little bit after we've been in the top 4 for most of the season. We're going to play the Sheffield United game off camera. We'll be back for Paris Saint-Germain in the second half of the episode. And then I think probably we're going to be focusing on the Premier League for the rest of the season once that is done with. I feel like I should do the rest of this video wearing an Arsenal shirt because they have not let me down once again after letting us beat them earlier in the season, despite being top of the league. They've now beaten West Ham while we beat Sheffield United, which means 5 games to go. We're back above them, 1 point ahead of them. The run-in, I mean, it's... we have a tough last couple of games. So we play Blackburn. And then I'm trying to see West Ham. Where are they? Do they not play that week? Doesn't appear so. So they're going to have a game in hand again after this little spell. We're then away against Brentford while they're away against Everton. They're then at home to Manchester City. So they've got some tough games coming up as well. This is good. We're away against Tottenham while they're away against Villa. And then we're at home against Chelsea while they're at home against Newcastle. And then on the last day, we're at home against Manchester United. They're at home against Sheffield United. So they've got a couple of tough games. We've got a couple of tough games. Theirs are earlier than ours. We need to go into the last day of the season like 6 points. Their last couple of games like 6 points ahead of them, which is possible because they've got a couple more games they could lose yet. If we're going into the Chelsea game only a couple of points ahead, I don't feel very confident. Although Chelsea are below us both. Man United are a real problem. Let's not worry about any of that for now. Let's focus back in for a few more minutes at least this season on the Champions League. Let's get this dealt with and finished off. If we win from here, I'll be delighted. I think this is an unchanged team from the first leg. Yeah, looking through. I mean, this is This is the team that we always play. This is our team. Let's get that submitted. You can see we made a couple of changes for the game at the weekend, but still not major changes because I don't really do major changes. Quite much for anything else. We don't have a big enough squad to do major changes. It's one of the reasons why long term the future of the save probably isn't with Norwich, because the money's not here to get a squad of 25 who are all good enough. I think a minute in, that's us done. Oh, that is not how today was supposed to go at all. 1-0 down on the night, 2-0 down on aggregate. We've been given the entirety of behind that goal, which I guess is nice. We'll be shooting towards our own fans in the second half. I suspect that kind of thing doesn't have as much difference in Football Manager as it does in real life, but it is pretty cool to see. We've got an entire end full of yellow shirts, but they've got another corner here. If I'm done in by corners here, I'll be furious. Corners are supposed to be my thing. The amount of stick I've had for being too good at corners over the last year or two. If we get knocked out of the Champions League by them, ooh, you'll see my crossface. That's for sure. I don't really know what to do here. I look down at the bench and what I was saying before, we don't really have the strength in depth. We don't have players. I mean, they've got Lautaro Martinez is on their bench today, isn't it? Oh, no, he is on the pitch. They had another striker. Who is their other striker? Pedro, I think. No, I don't know who it was. João Felix is on as well. Is he playing out wide? Oh, they've got Eder Militao as well. Of course they have. It's definitely an aging team. Hoyenhal making the save. Either way, they've got oodles of talent, both in the team and on their bench. We not so lucky. They've got Ferran Torres on their bench as well, who we didn't see at all in the first leg. Didn't need him. Romero playing it forward to Yunusek, and now Ansa. And Noll spraying it out wide, or at least trying to spray it out for Michele. It's intercepted, though. And now PSG with another counter-attack. I think they've beaten our offside trap again there. But luckily, Hoyenhal is there to collect and rolls it out to Noll to continue. It's not, I mean, again, similar to the first leg, we've not been completely outclassed by them. It feels like we're close. We're not a million miles away from being at this level. We're probably 3 players away from being at this level. And I think the 3 players are probably a left back, a defensive midfielder, dare I say a goalkeeper. You look through the rest of the squad, I don't know that there's much else I'd want to improve on. But I don't think the left back, Hoyenhal's great. Forget I said that. I don't want to upset him. But we're not quite there with Champions League quality throughout the team. And, even Romero at right back is going to be great. He's still only a 2.5-star player currently, though. He's not yet a Champions League player, although he will be. We don't want to replace him. Similar with Michele. If we could get Michele in permanently, then I would do it. I'd do that. I'd certainly do that ahead of bringing in a 28-year-old Champions League experienced left back, because that's just what we do. And Hoyenhal, I can't see myself ever replacing Hoyenhal. Because as you've just seen again there, he is just a top-level shot stopper. And I don't care that star rating tells me he's only 3 stars. We've won the Champions League with 3-star goalkeepers before. Because sometimes you have to take it with a pinch of salt. He's been the best player on the pitch again tonight. As he always is. But yeah, I think probably a defensive midfield. Obviously, a strike partner for Pedro Luis is going to be something that we need within the next year or two. Tammy Abraham and Julian Alvarez are not going to be able to do that role going forward 2 or 3 years. So that's another thing that we're always going to have that. We're always, by the time they move on, someone like Noll is going to be getting older. We're always going to be probably 2 or 3 players away from being able to compete properly at this kind of level. Because we're Norwich. I keep going back to because we're Norwich, but we are. We're Norwich. We don't have the money. I don't anticipate getting a lot of money to spend again this summer. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I suspect I'm going to get 20 million when we need 80 million. If they gave me 80 million this summer, maybe we could become competitive with that. But I think to get that kind of spensies, we're going to have to sell. And if we sell Pedro Luis, we're moving back a step then. We're not going to get another one like that as easily as we got him. I mean, even he was a bit of a battle to get hold of. Talking of Pedro Luis, he's in here. A goal here makes things interesting, but Donnarumma, I've heard, is quite good and makes the save. We have got a corner, but I I don't know. PSG seem to be pretty useful at set pieces by themselves, and Caesar's there with a header, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. I think I will make my third change now. I wasn't going to do it. I now think I will. I don't know whether I want to take. I think I am going to take Romero off. I just don't want to break him. He's young. He's tired. He's on a yellow card. I don't want him to get sent off against PSG in a Champions League quarterfinal at 19 years old. So we'll bring Seeker on. It's not a substitution that's likely to go and win us the game. But I don't know that we're even in the conversation for winning the game. We're just trying to avoid embarrassment. We've got further than we were ever supposed to get in the competition. Let's just keep things sensible, keep things tight. If we get the opportunity to grab a goal, it'd be nice to be able to say we came to Paris and didn't lose. But I don't anticipate us scoring 2 goals in the final 10 minutes of this game. We're not going to go attacking. We don't want to go crazy. We're comfortable as we are. We're not embarrassing ourselves. We've got to try and keep the morale good for the Premier League run-in, which, as we've said all along, is much more important. There we have it. It's been 2 tight matches over 2 legs. Now all focus is on the Premier League. A big pile of cash again. Come on board. You've got to give me money to spend this summer. They're saying next season's minimum guaranteed budget of 11 million. That'd be disastrous if we got 11 million, only 40% retained revenue. What's the debt looking like? See, we've only got 28 million pounds of transfer debt. I get in the comments sometimes that I've run up loads of transfer debt. We haven't run up loads of transfer debt. That's a very small transfer debt. Give me some good money. We need money. Tomorrow, we book back into the Champions League again for next season. Cross all the fingers. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.